Madonna arrived in Japan and took the land of the rising sun by storm, in every sense of the word.
I'm sorry. This is so embarrassing, but I can't leave you sitting here in the rain.
Despite a torrential downpour, Madonna went on with the show, premiering her new look and performing her sultry steps in titillating theatrics. In a country where women have long held on to traditional submissive roles, Madonna's gender-bending theme turned Japan on its head. Next stop, the U.S. of A., where, although plagued with a chronic bout of laryngitis, Madonna continued to whip her fans into a frenzy with her fancy footwork.
She's a great singer, a great dancer.
Madonna, we love you!
The tour stretched from coast to coast and then wound its way to Europe, where fans welcomed her warmly upon every arrival.
I came all the way from Amsterdam just to see this concert.
The Parisians thought her show was
very sexy.
The Romans felt she was
Fantastica.
And the British said she was
brilliant.
And everywhere Madonna went, her fans were sure to go. And they put on a veritable fashion show of Madonna's different looks.
Well, we're trying to look like her.
It's estimated that over 2 million people around the world will have seen Madonna live this year when the Blonde Ambition show makes its last stop in Nice, the pleasure seeker's paradise. And those seeking pleasure will certainly find it right here, because after a tour that spanned 3 continents, 10 countries, and 27 cities, it's all going to come together for tonight's grand finale.
I can't wait. It's going to be great to see Madonna.
Tonight is the climax of the performance event that's been called light years beyond what Madonna has previously attempted. Amazing for its breadth of controversy, unparalleled in the pop universe. The New York Times is so impressed they've said the Met should take lessons from Madonna in staging. Well, Madonna herself has said that her non-stop 2-hour performances of singing, acting, dancing, and costume changes have taken an awful lot out of her, and she'll never put on a tour like this one again, leaving us to wonder, could this be it? Are we about to see her last huge-scale concert production? Well, she's known as a perfectionist and the last word in everything she produces, and Madonna approached the Blonde Ambition World Tour with her own distinctive style, right down to the finest detail. The show is a reflection of Madonna's vision and sense of humor. So what does it take to put on the most theatrically complex stage show in rock and roll history? Well, about 100,000 tons of equipment, 500,000 watts of lights, 3 working days to assemble the over 20-ton outdoor stage, and a grand total of 125 very hard-working production people.
It's very theater, it's very stage, it's cabaret.
When Madonna decided to bring this show on the road, she called upon some of the best brains in the business to develop this innovative production, a production that rivals those appearing on Broadway.
Working with Madonna is sort of like hanging out with a best friend and coming up with like fun ideas. We'd complete a number and we'd step back and look at it. We go, oh my God, we're going to be a little flipped out over this.
Madonna and her artistic director brother Christopher Ciccone worked in tandem to emphasize the visual presentation of her songs.
She gave me a tentative song list, and we worked up some ideas, some basic set designs, and basic ideas for each song.
The show is comprised of 18 songs, of which everyone has their favorites.
To perform, probably Like a Prayer.
My favorite, Vogue and Keep It Together.
I'll have a ball playing, like the opening of the show, you know, and also Like a Prayer. But pretty much, overall, it's a great show, so, you know, it cruises, you know.
To cope with the headache of creating more than 60 garments for the Blonde with Ambition, cutting-edge designer Jean-Paul Gaultier's studio popped a record number of 350 aspirins to complete the job. Madonna wears 3 different corsets and changes at least 8 times during each performance. And she handles those changes with the greatest of ease, thanks to an extremely advanced fitness training program designed especially for her.
What I set for her is a situation where we get aerobic benefits. So we spend a lot of time running, cycling, and at times swimming.
In order to maintain that lean, muscled tone, Madonna travels with her own personal chef who closely supervises her daily diet.
She's what I call a performance vegetarian. So she's got to have like great carbohydrates to burn. She's got to have great complete proteins so she can continue to build muscle and not burn her muscle off.
And to make a rock show complete, Madonna is watched over by a rock and roll god. No sightings yet, but even without Elvis, the show's guaranteed to be a success due to the total dedication of the blonde one herself.
She works harder than anyone else, so that when you think you've worked too hard, she ends up, you know, she's the one who's putting in all the time. So you end up just trying to keep up with her workload.
Well, the results of that hard work and talent will be seen by all of us in just a few minutes. Tonight is the only American television broadcast of Madonna's Blonde Ambition performance. And I can't think of a better spot to hold this concert than here at the Stade de l'Ouest on the French Riviera. 40,000 fans are waiting to catch a glimpse of the most watched, talked about, written about, argued about, and imitated woman of the past decade. And the intense interest in every facet of her life shows no signs of letting up. At every stop along the tour, the press has hounded her. The paparazzi has played a game of cat and mouse with her, and seemingly reasonable adults have gotten caught up in Madonna mania. Someone told me that each day in Paris, outside the Ritz Hotel, hundreds of fans lined up ready to jog alongside Madonna as the blonde Pied Piper began her early morning running regimen.
She's the blonde ambition of the world. She's awesome. I love her.
Her looks, her loves, her career, her causes, all topics of almost obsessive interest to her public, all covered in the smallest details. But every time you think you have a handle on Madonna, she's sure to change. We followed her controversial life and career from her New York club beginning to her unprecedented string of hit albums and singles. To her daring Broadway debut in Speed the Plow.
I know that you're frightened. I know what you are, you see, that's what I'm telling you.
I'm frightened?
I know that you are.
And this year, and this tour, have placed Madonna smack in the middle of another controversy regarding freedom of artistic expression.
Treat me like I'm a bad girl, even when I'm being good to you. I don't want you to thank me, you can just spank me.
You know, Madonna, she likes to shock people. Is that what it is?
Sort of, yeah.
And sort of. And what's that other element?
I guess I like to have fun.
Perhaps the only thing that isn't subject to Madonna's biting sense of humor is her profound commitment to AIDS research.
You know, the money from the show is going to AMFAR, which is American Foundation for AIDS Research. For the past 2 years, AMFAR has increased the availability of drug trials at the community level from 5,000 to hundreds of thousands of people. I believe, and I hope you do too, that we can defeat AIDS. We can do it if we do it together.
And for all the speculation as to what she's really like, Madonna says simply she's pro-life, pro-equality, and pro-humanity. Well, in just a few minutes, we'll be able to see for ourselves what all this excitement is about when Madonna and her 16 singers, dancers, and musicians appear one time only live on stage for HBO viewers only from the French Riviera. You know, it seems appropriate that the start of a new decade also marks a pivotal year in Madonna's career. Simultaneously at the top of the record charts, heating up the summer's hottest movie, selling out stadiums around the world, and starring in this, the HBO TV event of the year. It seems Madonna is destined to leave us breathless in the 90s, too.
She's the Betty Grable, Marilyn Monroe, and Jane Russell of the 90s.
Madonna started off the new decade with a bang as fans got a glimpse of Vogue. Revitalizing an urban underground dance craze, Vogue blended high fashion, attitude, provocative choreography, and Hollywood glamour. With Vogue, the most successful single so far this year, Madonna released I'm Breathless, featuring music from and inspired by the film Dick Tracy, and co-starred with Warren Beatty in the comic book Caper.
I chose to do Dick Tracy because it was a great script, and I loved the character of Breathless Mahoney, and I really wanted to work with Warren Beatty, and no one else could play her part but me.
You know it's legal for me to take you down to the station and sweat it out of you under the lights.
I sweat a lot better in the dark. I know how you feel. You don't know if you want to hit me or kiss me. I get a lot of that.
Look, you're safe. Big boy's in jail. You're the one that can keep him there. Give me a call.
Following her latest Hollywood success, Madonna's next project will be the starring role in the film adaptation of the Tony Award-winning musical Evita. And with Madonna's singing and acting career passing the test of time in the 80s, it looks like she'll be expressing herself for many years to come. In just a few seconds, the fans here in Nice and HBO viewers across America who've tuned in for this special one-time only performance event will be dazzled by the woman who claims you can never be too blonde or too ambitious. 18 HBO cameras are set up to capture every moment of the show. And in many areas, you'll be able to listen to every note of the show in Dolby Surround and enjoy an FM simulcast. At this moment, backstage, 125 production people are putting finishing touches on the lighting, the makeup, and the wardrobe. Her singers, dancers, and musicians are warming up, and Madonna herself is prepared to take the stage for one final turn as the star of the Blonde Ambition World Tour 90. I hope you're as thrilled as I am to be a part of this music history-making event. And if you're ready, let's do it. Sit back and relax, or strike a pose and let's get to it. Enjoy Madonna live on the French Riviera.